On to Summer League disappointments. Who disappointed you in Summer League?
I think James Bucknight for me. I think a lot of the, it wasn't. I don't want to say his full game disappointed because he showed me signs where he can play make. He showed me signs where he can create for others. He showed me signs where he can play defense. But I think what disappointed me was the fact that, like you said, Cam walked in and he showed you what he showed you in college, that he can score at any level. And I think that's what I would say James Bucknight, he disappointed me because he didn't score the way I thought he would be able to score this early. I think a lot of the times he was settling. He wasn't being aggressive. A lot of the times he was taking bad shots, or he was doing a little bit too much on the offensive end.
He got locked up by Davion, too.
Yes, he also got locked up by Davion Mitchell. So it's like that
seems to be a pattern.
I know, but what he did to Payne Pritchard was bad.
Listen,
it was bad.
I agree, but this guy. Davion,
I'm saying Payne Pritchard. Even screens weren't helping him. He was trying to use screens, and he was still getting.
Yeah, James was just trying to go one-on-one. It didn't work. But and another one, I think me and Joel, we could probably agree on this one. Killian Hayes. I think this guy. I don't know what's wrong with him. I thought. I don't know. I thought Cade would relieve. Funny. Even though it's summer league, I thought Cade was going to relieve and help some of the pressure off him. But it just seems like he at times loses he takes bad shots. At times he doesn't make the right play. Defensively, he's a dog. I think defensively he really plays defense. He locks down on that other end. But on offense, his offensive game still needs a lot of work. His floater needs a lot of work. His jump shot, and even at times his decision making. I think Cade, I thought it would benefit, but so far it looks like it's only gonna kind of hinder him because with Cade with the ball, he's gonna play off ball. And Killian Hayes' jump shot isn't there for him to play off ball at the moment. So those are my two disappointments.
My disappointment, Keon Johnson. He played horrible. He played absolutely terrible. Shot 29% from the field, 20% from three, shot under 60% from the free throw. He played bad. He did not look good.
Brandon Boston looked good.
He did look all right. But
for Terrence.
And I just think this is as worse as you could possibly play, truthfully. I mean, nothing was going right for him. Averaged under 9 points. I think he was just like, I think it was like 8. So I'll give him that. That being said, he really didn't show me much. Not I look at him like he was supposed to be athletic, but all the things that I had worried about Keon going in, or even when the Clippers selected him, the size seemed to be an issue. 6'4" in height for sure, but 185 frame is definitely going to play as a disadvantage to his game. I just can't believe he played that bad, truthfully, and that's why I just can't wrap my mind about.
Pre-draft,
dude is mesmerized.
Yeah, for real, it was so bad.
Pre-draft, Keon Johnson.
That's 100% good.
When I first started to watch these prospects, I texted Riv at the time because I was watching Tennessee, and I said, I don't know what people see in Keon Johnson.
That's outside of the obvious athletic.
There was a time where he was a top 5 projected pick, lottery pick.
Is extremely athletic, but his offensive game is limited. I wasn't impressed by the two Tennessee guards, Jaden Springer or Keon. I thought they were kind of.
That was when you was watching Tennessee versus.
I think it was against Kentucky. I was watching
I think it was
Kentucky games. They weren't that impressive to me. I think Jaden Springer he fits the NBA a little bit better because he's more of a role player. I see that in him. But Keon Johnson, the signs were there. You said it, man. Killian Hayes. I talked about him last podcast a little bit about how much he struggled. And I do think there is a scenario where we could see Killian Hayes out of the NBA. Or not out of the NBA.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But out of the rotation of the Pistons guard lineup.
Well, to your defense, if he's not playing for the Pistons, who is he playing for?
He can play somewhere else.
He'll play somewhere else.
That's out of the league.
I misspoken that.
Yeah.
There is a scenario where Killian Hayes will not be in this rotation because in the NBA, things move fast. I draft you, and you're this new prize possession, but the next year a better prospect comes along who plays your position, and now you're not as valuable to my franchise anymore. That's how these higher-ups think. That's why it's all about situations. And Killian Hayes, sadly for him, if he got put in a bad situation, if the Pistons were to draft Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, Kuminga, Scotty, this wouldn't be a problem. But because it was Cade Cunningham and because of how Cade plays, it is a problem. Killian Hayes' defense is there. But if he can't develop that three-point shot, he cannot play with Cade Cunningham. And you look at the point guards on the roster, Frank Jackson, who's who was a 40% 3-point shooter last season, fits better next to Cade right now. Saben Lee, get to the basket at will, an explosive guard, plays defense as well. Saben Lee can play next to Cade better than Killian Hayes. Then you look at Corey Joseph, who they re-signed. Veteran point guard, he will get minutes because he's a veteran guy. Yep. He fits better next to Cade as well. There's a scenario where if Killian Hayes is playing bad, okay, Corey Joseph, you're going to start now. Killian Hayes comes off the bench. If Frank Jackson is playing better than him at that moment, he might surpass him. There is that scenario, and I think Killian Hayes, I don't know what it is, but he needs to get himself together, focus on his game, get his shot better so he can have a breakout season, because right now he is on the verge of being a forgotten high pick by the Pistons.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I'm not going to go like crazy, like you said, and say out of the league, but, he's still young. But like you said, I think Cade can play off ball, but I think Detroit's best bet to win is with Cade on the ball and everybody else just feeding off him. And Killian, he needs to develop that three-point shot. It could be a scenario where, Detroit goes big, goes Cade, Bay, and I think Diombe or Jeremy Grant at the 3 and the 4, and they have a 5. They can go big and put Sadiq Bey next to Cade, and that'd be crazy too. So I think Killian Hayes definitely has to develop a jump shot. He's still young. He still has things, things in his game where you can still see like he's still one of their prized possessions for the future. He's still a good player. Defensively they're gonna need him because Cade is a good defender, but in terms of guarding the best guards and being quick on your feet and being agile, I think Killian is a bit better at that.
Okay.
You would want him guarding the best guards. But yeah, offensively he needs to get it going because it's going to be tough.
That defense will keep him above water until he gets that shot up. Mm-hmm. I think if he can shoot between 31 to 33%, that's manageable if he's playing high-level defense. But ultimately, he has to get up to 35, 36% in order to be a point guard that can truly fit next to Cade. Another guy, though, was Zaire Williams. I think Zaire Williams was average for the Memphis. And, we might be looking at a guy who was a bad pick. Memphis traded up for this guy, Zaire Williams.
Passed on a few good guys.
And I'm not sure what Memphis's plan is because they are talking about maybe trading Dylan Brooks or Kyle Anderson. I'm not sure the direction they're going in right now. But Zaire Williams was a potential pick, and he definitely played like a guy who, he was a raw prospect coming out of college, and we'll see what he becomes. He definitely has a frame, but in terms as a player, I wasn't sold on him in college because I think there were a lot of flaws in his game. We'll see if he can develop with Memphis, but that is still to be seen.